to sign it. Is what I'm telling you.
And that's okay. They could refuse to
Okay,
sign
then if they don't sign it, then they don't know what they can do and they can't do. So if you're going to do something that you can't do, then you're going to get cited.
Okay.
And you get cited because you didn't know, because you refused to read the permit.
Right.
Kind of a vicious cycle.
And that's basically what, to bring in front of the judge. We were presenting you with the conditions of the permit. You're required to have a permit, and it was your choice whether or not to follow that or not. Your choice, your choice, your choice, anyone's
We
choice.
present it to you, you refuse to do it, and you violate the terms of a permit that you refuse to read, then we're going to cite you.
Okay.
Fair enough?
You guys are changing the terms of the permit from what you
No,
did.
this is the...
Is that correct?
A permit we issued 3 or 4 months ago doesn't have to be the same permit we issued today.
It was
And I'm not sure that...
Frank, it was 2 weeks ago.
Huh?
It was 2 weeks ago, not 3 or 4
I didn't
months.
issue you a permit 2 weeks ago.
The Park Service did. The verbal
Written.
permit.
No, I'm not talking about verbal permits. I'm talking about, we're not issuing verbal permits. We're issuing written permits.
Not anymore.
A verbal permit doesn't protect you and it doesn't protect us, because you don't know what the terms and conditions of a verbal permit is, because you don't have anything in writing to read.
What if they explain it to me?
You're going to explain? You're going to sit here and read all this to you, and you're going to say, I remembered everything.
They have in the past.
No, we're not issuing a verbal permit. We want your signature on here. We want your signature saying that you understand and that you're willing to comply. Or we want the opposite.
So you guys are no longer issuing verbal permits to any group that wants to peacefully protest?
That's correct. No longer issuing verbal permits.
That's the
That
new
is
change
correct.
of procedure.
That is correct. That has come down from our
Well,
superintendent.
it's not even a change in procedure. That's how it's always supposed to be done.
Can you please back up, okay?
Why?
You're supposed to.
I can stand here.
You're always supposed to apply for a permanent marine by CFR. That's how it's always been.
364 is law.
It's too difficult for us to manage a lot of activity in the park without something in writing. I mean, the park has a responsibility to manage the time, place, and manner that protests take place. I mean, that's in the law. We manage that by means of a permit.
Okay, but you guys have been giving us verbal permits. You're
We're
saying
not
that
giving you any
that's
verbal
a change.
permits
You're
anymore.
not doing that anymore.
Okay, so it changed. If we gave you a verbal permit in the past,
Yes.
and we're not giving you a verbal permit today, yes, you're correct.
So
That's a
change.
change.
Okay.
That's a change.
And the change, you're also not letting us use signs.
Yeah. We're letting you use some.
Now listen to you.
But we want that sign activity to be removed a little further from the horse activity, so that we don't have these folks standing there with signs in front of a carriage, you standing there with signs in front of a carriage, and now we're disrupting their business operation, an operation which they have a license for.
But we also have the right to free speech.
You have a right to free speech. You stand here, you can say whatever you'd like. You can hold your sign. I'm just asking you to back up from the curb a little bit.
Where are you asking us to? I'm
That's
not
there?
clear on what you're asking us to do.
Where they listen, yes you are. Where the course or the carriage drivers stand when they hold is in that cobblestone area. Okay, it doesn't have to necessarily be right on the edge of the curve, or right on the edge of the street. In that cobblestone area, right there, that whole strip down there. That's basically, you can see where they're standing. You can see that. Okay, if the signs, we're not saying, the signs aren't the issue. It's where they're placed so that it will not interfere with them doing legitimate and legal business that they have a license for. That's all we're saying. And you keep spinning back to the same thing. Okay.
Where are you saying that we can put those signs? That's what I'm asking.
We're pulling them back enough, a little bit more, so making sure we don't cut. The sidewalk can't be blocked at all. And even with where you've got right here, with the table out and stuff like that, as long as people can go through, that's fine. But if you start putting things and narrowing that down even more, okay, that's where we have an issue to where we're blocking the pedestrian flow as far as that's concerned. So the closer it gets. So we're going to go through this. If you're going to be out here and you're saying you're single by yourself, you're going to get one of these. Okay? Independent. You're going to get one of these. So is cameraman, so are you, so is everyone else who basically is going to stand in here. That's what we're getting at as far as written permits. If you're saying that we can issue this to you, but you will have no control over anybody else,
Absolutely no
then we
control.
have, like I said, I got 30 permits right here, and I'll stand here and fill out all 30 because that's basically what you have to have in order to conduct First Amendment. There's another one in front, how they are positioned, it might end up interfering with that. So to just bring it back just a little bit so that there is room for someone who wants to get on the carriage, doesn't have to manipulate and go around. And I'll tell you, you're almost subjecting yourself to some liability if you leave that sign unattended and somebody trips, somebody falls, somebody runs into it, somebody can't see it. You put it there. So that's what Frank was saying. It's got to be fair to us and for you to get your word across, which is not what we're here to argue against.
The disagreement is we're not interfering with their commercial operation. All we're doing is we have signs up here. I'm not interfering with anybody.
If I can interject, we've been having verbal permits for the last 3 months.
I'm not going to argue about the same thing that I just
having
did.
a verbal permit.
Listen,
So if you want to issue us a verbal permit,
No.
the way that's been done for the
No.
last 3 months, that's fine.
No,
but
we're
we're not
not.
going to sign a written permit. We don't
Okay.
think we need it. We
Well,
think
then
it's
here's what's going to happen.
unconstitutional.
If you're going to be here, I'm going to write down your name. I'm going to
Okay.
write down that basically you refuse to sign and you refuse to take, which then means that you aren't aware of the conditions that you need to abide by for this permit. So if you don't,
You could issue
take
me a
it,
verbal permit. I'm not refusing a permit, as we have in the past.
verbal
many
permits
weeks.
are no longer.
We have had. Okay,
verbal
according
permits
to who?
are no longer.
According to who?
Okay, this is what we're
Can you
going
answer
after
me?
now.
I said, according
No.
to who are the verbal permits no longer?
This is how the park, which should have been doing this to begin with, okay, is assigning a written permit to those that are going to be conducting First Amendment activities out here.
According to who? Who told you that the verbal
Okay.
permit's no longer allowed? Can you answer that question? Why are you not answering my question?
You know his last name?
You don't know my
His
name.
last name?
You don't know anybody's name. Nobody's. Do not. I would recommend you do not give the name.
I'm not giving my... What happens if we don't give our name to you and we
That's fine.
continue to be part of the demonstration?
That's fine. We will still attempt to issue you a permit. We're still going to attempt to issue you a permit, and I could identify you as, guy in sunglasses and blue sweatshirt.
Okay.
So you have no basis for requiring this. And you're not answering the question as to why you're requiring it, which is kind of a little disturbing.
36 CFR requires.
No,
it
we
for
know what
permits.
36 CFR is. We've been in court over it. So we know what that is. What, can you please get this? This is Mike Slocum. He's the owner of the trolley.
76 carriage.
76 carriage. He's been standing next to this gentleman the entire time.
Identify me. You should identify me by the right name. That's not my name.
Oh, sorry. What is it?
Doesn't
See, I
matter.
got here.
Michael Slocum.
Michael Slocum.
It's not Michael Sloan.
I guess you changed
Why
his
are you
name.
guys afraid to put us in on a piece of paper? We're so committed to it. Why don't you sign it?
Proposed activity.
Sir,
Sign what?
I don't think you should be here. We're not.
I'll be here more than you.
We are not interested in your opinion on this. We're dealing with the Park Service.
He's got just
Can
as
you
much to
please
stand here as
keep
you
it-
do.
You
Well,
brought
you
me
know what?
into this
And I would
conversation.
appreciate if there's no contact here right now. Okay,
You brought me into this conversation. I wasn't in the conversation. I conduct a business here which I'm licensed to conduct. So
Back up.
do me a favor, okay?
Just
I'm not in
hang
you
tight, all
brought me
right?
into the conversation.
We're trying to work on it, all
I
right?
don't want that either.
Can you please separate us? Okay, but where, I don't see where it says where to stand. Like they're standing all along there.
The permitted activities must not interfere with park visitors' business operations with park issued commercial use authorizations or interpretive
Okay.
programs, okay? And
So that would pretty much include anywhere on the public sidewalk.
And the other thing is the 20-foot of the park building exit and entrance.
Okay.
And the 12-foot of the street corner.
Okay, so that's pretty much where we're standing right now.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but they want us to move those signs.
Okay, well, we're not
Well,
moving
we
the
may-
signs.
If they
If they interfere somehow
They're not.
with...
Well,
But if we determine that it is interfering somehow.
Okay, well, you'll have to give us a basis for that and show
And
us
we'll,
exactly
and
how
we'll
they're
certainly
doing
talk
it.
with you if we
Yeah.
feel that that's what's going on.
Okay.
That's a complete
So-
change from what you guys just
no,
told me. You said
no,
you
it's
gotta move
not.
the signs.
No, it is. You're not following through with things. We're saying you would need to move the signs if they interfere with the operation.
That's fine.
That's what the second
Sir.
part is that you keep not getting.
There was no if before. It was you just need to move them. That's what you told me.
No, that is not true. That's not what I told you. I've been repeatedly telling you if part of the conditions of this says you cannot interfere with commercial operation. If you do, you're in violation of that, and you can be cited. Period. That's all there is to it. Cut, dry. That's it. That's it.
You didn't tell me to move the signs 20 minutes ago. You didn't tell me I have to move them.
No.
Were you videotaping?
I was videotaping
Okay,
it.
that's
I think,
No,
and
it's- you
petition
can
signing.
stand there.
No, but I think signs might have been out of the question at that
Sign-
point.
The thing that the Judge Fulham said in the court, because I was there, and I don't think you were, and I don't think you were, and I don't think you were.
Where?
He said,
I was
in the
in
court,
court.
oh, that's
He
right,
was
you
there.
were there. Okay. What he said was, you can't block, you can't congregate within the 20 and the 12, but you can step into it and leaflet. That's what he said.
Okay,
He
so no, so
specifically said
what I'm
that. So-
saying is, like, for those areas or whatever, leafletting, petitioning, I think that's probably fine. I'm concerned about, like, big signs and